Just 5 years ago, Jersey City Medical Center was on life support, drowning in a sea of red ink and facing imminent closure. But today, the facility is solvent and being hailed as the best hospital of its size in the state.
Every day, every person who works at Jersey City Medical Center really works to enhance the life of the people that we serve. We treat the sickest patients in Hudson County. We treat the most complicated patients. Every day we're doing something that really is extraordinary and enhances the life of the people that we serve. Over the last year, we began to look at where the gaps in services were in Hudson County. What are the things that we don't provide now, even though patients need them?
We were experiencing 30 or more seizures every day. And in South Carolina, they didn't have that kind of extensive care. So I pretty much left my job, left my house to come up here and get him this help.
When I saw him the first day in the clinic, he had 4 grand mal seizures that day.
He had toxic levels of medication in his system.
We did an emergency admission into Jersey City Medical Center. We started to do a procedure called video EEG. We monitor the brain waves continuously. We were able to adjust his seizure medications, his therapy, more appropriately for his condition.
When you were on so much medication and you couldn't interact with people, how did you feel?
Left out.
People who go on for years and years with uncontrolled seizures and terrible side effects from medications. And there's therapies that have the potential to cure them or make them significantly better.
We didn't think that there was any more hope.
You know, it's just been very fulfilling to see his personality come back and him to be able to kid around with his mom.
He's happy. He'll dance. Kids tape him dancing. He's interacting more.
We were able to turn them around. They have a whole new perspective on life.
Quite frankly, 3 years ago, we didn't have as comprehensive a medical center as we have today, because we've been able to grow programs here based upon our evaluation of what's needed in the community. Physicians will always come to a hospital when they see that you're really focused on our patients.
Having administration realize that it's more about patient care than it is the bottom line is amazing. And here we have administration that recognizes that. They recognize that patient care comes before anything else.
To see him the way he was very unusual, so we knew we had to be more aggressive.
This is the worst pain that I've ever experienced. I'm talking about, I ripped my thumb out of the socket, hanging on my hand, and I thought that was painful. This was 10 times worse than that.
He had a very large disc herniation. I mean, he had every reason in the world to be in a lot of pain.
I couldn't bend my knee or raise my leg. I thought my career was over.
One thing that's unique about our program here is we do minimally invasive surgery, and that means we do surgery through very small incisions. Russell's case is a perfect example of that. There's much less cutting of muscle, much less cutting of bone, and because you're cutting less to do the same work, patient recovery is much quicker.
The nerve that was being pressed against was the size of a pinhead. So it's that small, it's that close. One mistake and yeah, it was nervous. I was nervous going in.
You know, he had a tear in his eye. He said, listen, you know, I love my son. You know, I'd love to be there for him. You know, this is surgery, so I'm concerned. You know, he had tears, and he wanted to make sure that someone would be there for his son, just in case. So I had to reassure him that he should be fine. But in any case, we'd be there to support his son if that was necessary.
I wanted to believe him, but I was said to myself, okay, listen, Russ, listen to yourself here. If you could get up and walk, that'll be a miracle. I'm walking that night. I was in pain. I couldn't move. I had lost function of my leg, the whole bit. It was incredible.
To see him in the office at 2 weeks and at 6 weeks, moving around, explaining how much better he is and expressing his gratitude, it really makes me reflect and makes me very humbled to be in the position that I'm in to help someone like him.
I'm ready. I start therapy tomorrow, and I just can't wait to get started because the recovery my back is better now than it's been in years. Never mind just prior to the surgery, but for years now.
One of our biggest issues right now is that we're running out of space. We're looking at an emergency department expansion. We're the trauma center, we're the open heart surgery center. In fact, we just had a case where a woman came in, she was 6 months pregnant. She had a dissecting aortic aneurysm.
The first thing that we thought, we were going to lose the baby. And then when they said that if we didn't operate on her that day, that she wouldn't make it, my nightmare started. Our nightmare started,
Fixing an ascending aortic dissection has a hospital mortality of, depending on what you read, but it has a hospital mortality from 20 to 40%.
We moved her right away to the operating room.
I just wanted to have the baby removed and give the baby a fighting chance for himself.
The baby came out crying, and we all were very happy.
They let me see my son. They had him covered in a piece of paper, working on him. What I saw was his tiny feet. People from the NIC unit, the nurses there, they were there comforting me and telling me everything was going to be okay.
It was a sense of joy for everybody to have a life being born for a patient that her life is on the verge. Dr. Han started to work on the heart, still optimistic and working very hard.
It seemed like forever. It seemed like they were in there, I'm talking about for days.
Just the thought of losing a patient that's 30 years old, that is a mother of 4, you know that you're going to give 110%.
Thought he was going to lose her. And he said he wasn't giving up.
Oh, God. Well, when I finally did wake up, they took very good care of me.
Another hospital, she would have never made it.
Yeah.
We proposed to her in the middle of the intensive care unit.
He went to his jacket.
She didn't believe me.
And that's when he opened the box and he asked me to marry him. I'm like, yes, of course.
Mm-hmm. I'll never leave her side, she needs me, and he needs me.
If she had been brought to another hospital who didn't provide open heart surgery services, she probably would have had to either been transferred to us and lost some time, or would not have made it.
We really have ownership, and we really take care of our patients as if they were family.
These people actually do care.
They'll come upstairs and say prayers, it's like down to the cafeteria staff.
We may have one miracle that we're talking about today, but I can tell you more stories. I can tell you more miracles that happen every single day.